What's up everyone, welcome back to Just Finished Coding. This is part 4 of our platformer game development series on Scratch 3, so let's get coding.
Just finished coding.
Now quick interjection here, if you've not watched parts 1 to 3, please watch them before you come here because we're picking up from where we left off and you will be very lost. I'll leave a card for you right here. Please watch the videos and then come right back. If you're still here, I'm going to assume that you've watched parts 1 to 3, in which case you should have quite a bit of your platformer game set up, including your lava, spikes, as well as the movement and stuff, as well as the level. So in this video, what we'll be doing is we'll be having some trampolines in the 3rd and 4th level, and we'll also be fixing up our game in such a way that whenever our platformer touches the green flag, we basically reset. Let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to do is to make a new block and head over to make a block within my blocks, and this block is going to be called reset, alright? And you can optionally click run without screen refresh. I'm just going to go ahead and do it, alright? So now within reset, you need to have two things mainly, alright? So the first one is you want to basically do everything that's here. So the first thing is you want to broadcast, initialize and wait, and after that you want to broadcast. And let me actually just set this to be, not run without screen refresh because we will be doing some stuff with the screen. So next we just broadcast, start game and then wait. And that is pretty much all we need to do, alright? So now when you call reset right here, what's going to happen is after player died is set to yes, we just restart the entire level, alright? And that is pretty much okay. So what we can do here is we can set up the collision with the green flag first because that's a little bit easier, and then we'll set it up with the lava and spikes. So what I'll say is within this, right before the Y engine, I'll say if, alright, and within that if I'll be saying touching green flag. So if touching green flag, then what we will do is we will change the level by 1 first, okay, and this is important you do this first, alright, and then we can just set player died to be yes. So set player died to be yes. And yep, that is pretty much all we need for now. We'll have a player animation later on where we'll have two animations based on whether he hit the lava or whether he hit the green flag, but we'll be doing that a little bit later. So as of now, just have these two blocks in place. Next, we need to have some way of communication with the green flag so that we hide it after we move on to the next level. So what you can do is first, before you get into any of these blocks of code, you can just say broadcast, new message, hide green flag. Alright, so pretty simple, and that's exactly what we need to do. So now, oops, I actually renamed it something pretty weird with the case, but anyway, that's fine. So now within the green flag, say when I receive hide green flag, then well, we just hide, and that is pretty much it. So hide, and yep, we can just wait for our animation to take place there. Perfect. So now that you're done with that, the next thing we can do is to import all of our costumes for the trampolines. So within choose a costume, or rather choose a sprite, click upload a sprite, and actually let me duplicate the lava sprite and stuff because it's going to be pretty easy just to change these stuff in, and most of the stuff is going to be the same thing except a couple of things. So I'm going to call this trampoline. And you need to specify also what type of trampoline, because we're going to have 3 types of trampoline if you paid attention during the preview where I showed you the entire game. So the first one is going to be a horizontal one, which is going to like push us horizontally. The second one's going to be a vertical one, and the third one's going to be a slant. Okay, so let me first do the vertical one. So I'm going to say trampoline vertical, all right, and now we can delete all of the costumes, and yep. Now click on upload costume, and within all of this you want to click on the one which says trampolines, alright, and you want to click on the vertical trampoline. Perfect. And now I'm going to just delete that costume. So this is our trampoline, pretty simple, nothing really great. And for this, when the level is 1 or if the level is 2 or the level is 3, we're not going to be showing. It's only if the level is 4 that we show ourselves. So what I'm going to do is say if level is 4, I'm just going to gut this entire code, by the way. So if level is 4, alright, then I'm going to show, but otherwise we're just going to hide, and since we're already hidden during the initialization, we don't have to do anything. So show, and after this we need to specify the position. So I'm going to say go to, and the position is going to be -80, and the Y position is going to be, I believe, negative 113. And this reminds me to do another setup with the green flag. So here, all this is going to apply when the level is not equal to 4. When the level is equal to 4, then what we'll have to do is something very, very different. We'd have to basically end the game. So what I'm going to do is once again have another if else within this, put all of this within that else. So I'm going to say if, or let me just put it within the if then. Okay, it's going to make it a little bit more simpler to understand. So if not level is equal to 4, in this case we can do all of this, okay? But if the level is 4, then what I'm going to do is to broadcast, let's just say some message. So I'm going to say broadcast, not broadcast and wait, broadcast player wins. All right. So simple code, but it's very important we add that in. So now let's head back to the trampoline, and this is going to happen only if the level is 4. So now when we click the green flag, you can see that there is no trampoline, and you can actually play the game, and the green flag would sort of work, although not very nicely because we don't have any animation set up yet. But I'm just going to skip through and just go ahead and change the level to be 4. Alright, so set level to 4. And there we go. That is our trampoline. So obviously if we touch it, nothing's going to happen. We aren't going to jump up or anything like crazy. But we will be setting that up right now. And before we get into the trampoline, it's important to note that before we get into the code of the trampoline, it's important to note that the trampoline in the vertical trampoline is only going to change the velocity in the Y direction, but the horizontal trampoline is going to change the velocity in both the X and Y directions. And that's because our horizontal trampoline is going to be right here. So as a result, if we just change X by something, because of the gravity, it's actually going to go down, and in some cases it may even hit this block right here, which is not what we want. So we also lift it up with a certain Y velocity so that it goes through, and the player at least has a chance to hit the green flag. Alright, so now you can head to the code, and you can scroll down within your platformer engine, okay? And you can do this once again within an if else, within this if else, and you can put this Y engine within the else. So I'm going to say if else. So if, like this is what I mean. So if we are touching trampoline, you can get that in sensing, by the way. So if touching trampoline vertical, then we will set the Y velocity to be 30. So set Y velocity to be 30. All right. And that is pretty much all you need. So this is going to enable you to just bounce up like crazy. And within the trampoline also, I just want to check one thing. Yeah, we go to the back layer, and we don't really want to switch costume to level because there is only one costume. So you can just remove that block of code right there. And perfect, this is going to be our trampoline. And in case you want to test that, you can just go through, and yep, there you go. You actually jump up, and it's a little bit weird with what's happening with respect to our trampoline. I'm not entirely sure why it's just jumping like that, but I will check that out and then be right back. Alright, I just went through my code, and the bug was something extremely silly. And if we put this Y engine within an else, nothing's going to happen when we are touching the trampoline, and that kind of defeats the purpose because we aren't going to jump. So what you need to instead put this, what you need to do is just put this within an if then, and put the Y engine after the if, okay, and just put that within the else, and that should sort out your problem. So now I'm going to click, and there you go. Our trampoline can help us jump, and that is pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do right away is set up the collisions for the lava and stuff here itself. So I'm going to set the level back to be 1, and here's what you need to do. You want to scroll down below to your platformer engine once again, and before you check for the collision with the green flag, you need another if else, and you can put all this within the else, okay? And within the if, first grab an OR, and we'll need a couple of ORs a little bit later, but as of now just grab one OR, and we need to say if touching lava, or we are touching the spikes. So in either of these two cases, what we'll do is pretty much the exact same thing when we are touching the green flag, but we won't be incrementing the level by 1. So I'm just going to say set player died is equal to yes. All right. And this is just going to restart the level, and you've seen that. Maybe I haven't shown it to you yet. So all right, set it to be yes. And now let me just show you what happens. So boom, we set it up once again. We don't have an animation, so that's kind of pretty bland right now, but that's still okay. There we go. And now I'm going to try to get into the spikes, and obviously there's a huge amount of lag in my computer, and you can see that I'm struggling to play the platformer game right now, but anyway, let me try my best. So I'm going to go up, and oops, there we go once again. Alright, so I'm not going to do it right now. Obviously, there's too much lag in because my system is completely overloaded. But you should be able to notice that when we touch the green flag, we head back to the starting position of the next level. And when we touch the spikes or the lava, we head back to the same level. Just like, what happened when we touched the lava. And I'm just going to leave that as working. And I'm going to end this video right here. There's still a lot more to do with respect to our horizontal trampoline as well as our slant trampoline. But we can actually do that in the next video, and it isn't going to be too much, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.